And what's going on, you guys? It's Be Your Boy, Scattered by Nature TV, and we're here for a brand new episode of Yes for the Mess, where we talk about celebrity gossip, hot topics, and all things reality TV based. What is going on, you guys? What is going on? But before we get into today's tea, let's talk about what we got coming up, honey. Okay. Now, tomorrow night, which is Tuesday night, will be the second episode of Roasted Review for the SWV and Escape Show, featuring Scotty by Nature TV, giving you the real tea, and Josiah's World TV. This week, we will be over on Giving You the Real Tea's platform where we will be roasting and reviewing this episode, okay? Make sure you guys tune in tomorrow night at 8:15 p.m. Eastern Time. That's 8:15 p.m. Eastern Time. If there is a change in the time, you guys will be noticed. You guys will be notified quickly and before the show even starts. But just know that the working time right now is 8:15 Eastern. The link should be available sometime today. And when it is available, it will be on my homepage, as well as the Roasted Review playlist. Make sure you guys click on those notification bells so you can be notified when the video drops. Now, with that being said, you guys, for Katie did a speak on it, okay? Where she talked about two things. She talked about the situation with Tamika and Tasha and how things went down with that and how she came to the conclusion that Latasha and Rocky allegedly took her money, which was $3,000, and we are about to get into that in just a second. And the second thing is she reveals why Latasha is really mad, and this is just a breakdown of this, just in case you haven't seen the speak on it, of course, and this is a space for you guys to give your unfiltered opinions. Okay, this will be a premiere video, so make sure you guys are in the chat behaving. Do not curse in the chat. Please be creative with your cursing words. If you feel like you just got to curse, just bleep the cursing words out, or the moderators will put you in timeout. I'm just warning you. So with that being said, you guys, let's go ahead and get into the mess. Let's get into it.
Let me starting with okay, this episode started with a bang, just like last week's episode ended with a bang.
Tamika, I'm tired, mama.
So let me try to explain it for you from the best of my knowledge. And I'm gonna use allegedly because I don't want nobody suing me. Okay, to be clear. Tamika Scott and Tasha Scott and Mama G.
I'm your sister. You don't body shame people.
They were having the argument. Oh, Ocean was there, Tamika's oldest daughter. Basically, everybody knows that the accusations have been thrown out about Tasha being able to steal Tamika's money, or Tasha stealing Tamika's money. That's what Tamika said. I've been seeing on the blogs, a lot of people were kind of confused on how that can happen.
Well, you stole my money.
Blah, 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 blah.
What you want to come against me for?
Okay, I'm going to try to explain it to you to the best of my knowledge. So this incident took place before me and Tamika got made up. So it was before our first reality show, Escape Still Kicking It. This thievery that she's talking about.
You and Rocky stole my money. Mama didn't say nothing.
So basically what happened from allegedly happened. What allegedly happened? There is a union or a company called Sound Exchange that developed in the 2000s that is for the benefit of helping artists get royalties for like airplay and stuff like that. For a long time, everybody hears like only the songwriters typically get paid when the songs are played on air. But Sound Exchange, when they developed as a company or a union of sorts, basically they made agreements with different, I don't know, whoever the powers that be, to make it so that they could collect some royalties for the artists who are like performance royalty. And so with that being said, it started in the 2000s after our group broke up, but they were able to collect royalties on our behalf going forward. Now, we all did not find out about Sound Exchange probably till they was open for a few years or whatever. And I remember Tiny's mom was the one who let us know about it. And she signed us up. All right. I think her and Tina is another family friend of ours who helped us with our money and stuff. They basically let us know about it, signed us up for it. They signed me up for it. I didn't even know about it. I was like, oh, okay. So it was a little check coming in the mail. We all got our checks individually. It did not come to a group. It just came to the individual members. I don't know how it works. If you're an artist and you got music out from back in the day, make sure you sign up with Sound Exchange. They probably have money for you. Yeah, it's currently still happening. You can actually go on their website, soundexchange.com. So with that being said, because I think they had some royalties they had added up because we were late signing up, you know what I mean? So it was like, a chunk of change when we first signed up that each individual person was supposed to receive. With that being said, allegedly, Tamika says, and I'm not saying alleged because I don't believe it. I'm just saying alleged because, I guess you can't really say that unless you were a part of the situation. At the time, I wasn't around them. I was getting the second hand from Tiny Mom. So basically, during this time, it definitely was a time where Tamika needed her money.
I was pregnant with our money.
Escape was not performing.
And my daughter Ocean was in college at the time.
Well, not with all 4 members or whatever. We weren't doing the big tours yet at that time. That was before we got back together. She definitely needed her money, like she said.
I told my mom, and she was like, well, you don't know what she was going through at the time. Maybe she needed the money.
She needed her money. Got it. Okay. I was told that allegedly someone, I don't want to say no names, had Tamika's check going to their address. And that allegedly they were signing Tamika's name on the check and depositing the check. And because this was not a thing that, like, I didn't know about it either. The only reason why I knew about Sound Exchange is because Tiny's mom had signed me up. And she had that stuff coming to my mom's house. So I wouldn't even have known about the checks either. So I can understand how Tamika didn't know about it. It was a new union situation. It was a new check that she wasn't expecting. None of us was expecting. Got it? Okay. Anyway, so allegedly when she got signed up, somebody put their address on it and was signing it and depositing her checks in their account, allegedly, from what I was told. She found out about it later because Tiny Mom, which I believe, because Tiny did her Mama Diane, she did me the same way. She said, baby, you getting your check? You should have got a check by now because da-da-da-da-da. So apparently she did the same thing to Tamika. Tamika was like,
I didn't get no check. What you talking about?
and that's when she reached out to find out what was happening. And according to Tamika, basically they let her know the checks had already been deposited. Basically, the only way that she could find a way to get it back is if she would have pressed charges and filed, fraud in order to get the money. Of course, she didn't want to do that to her sister, according to Tamika. So allegedly, that is what happened. So when people are like, well, how can somebody just take your check? Or how can this? Sometimes, we as a group, even like this is later on in life, we have to send our keys in together for certain things, for performances that we're doing, and they need our ID, a copy of ID or whatever. Or, they knew her social security number, stuff like that. Like they've been privy to mine. I got a block on my shit, just let you know. Yeah, so we were kind of privy to each other's information. And to be clear, if you watched season 1 of Escape Still Kicking It, it was an issue. Like, I didn't want to have a company with them because I don't trust everybody with the money. Just saying. Allegedly, these things happen, but I wouldn't say that I was far from believing it. Not just because of what Tamika said, but also because Tiny's mom backed it up with the situation.
So it's been 10 years of her having shady dealings, and they just act like it didn't happen.
That ain't the only thing. There have been other things that have happened that were shady. Some things we don't talk about in the show or whatever. But there's been other shady dealings that have happened over the years that just never got dealt with. For whatever reason, our group, we be knowing that stuff be shady, and we may have an argument about it, but then we never get any resolve. Just own it. So I hope I was able to explain that for you a little bit, because I know it is quite a lot to take in, okay? If two sisters are going at it and one is accusing the other of stealing, that's a lot. Can y'all please work this out? Honestly, I'm not used to this because normally Tamika always has Tasha's back no matter what happens, no matter what is said.
I was young. I was naive. And it's a lot of stuff I'm still learning right now. You know, a lot of stuff, you know, I'm not trying to get emotional that I'm going through right now.
Oh, Tamika, don't cry.
I'm not gonna cry. But the young me was different. The mature me is a wife, a mom, a grandma. So it's a lot different now.
No matter what is done.
Even when the decisions, you know, hurt me, but I knew at the end of the day, my family was proud of me.
So I'm thrown off by this whole situation, to be clear. Even though it's all this crazy drama on the show, dealing with our group, I think it's a good thing that they do dive into some of the positive things that are happening within family. Meaning, you know, you get to see everybody with
Okay, so I stopped it right there. So basically, in so many words, there was a situation where Tiny's mother found out about this union where artists can get paid for artist royalties. You know, a lot of the times when songs are being played on the radio or being performed, the writer and the producers are the ones that gets, you know, the residual checks. You feel what I'm saying? But in this instance, this was a way for the artist to also get paid for the songs being played. Tiny's mother signed the four girls up for it, but apparently Tamika didn't get her check. It was investigated by Tiny's mom because Tamika never got her check. Someone forged Tamika's signature on the checks and had them mailed to Latasha's house. And the next thing you know, the checks were deposited into another account that wasn't Tamika's. Whose account was it? Well, allegedly, it was Tasha and Rocky's account. So that's how we found out about it, and that's how the money was stolen. But my thing about this is, it's crazy because, like I said in my review, I feel like this. I don't give a damn if we're a brother, sister, whatever. You steal $30,000 for me, ain't no way in the hell I could ever talk to you again. Like, I'll cut people off for smaller shit than that. Do you really think that I'm not gonna cut you off for stealing $30,000 from me when you know I need the damn money, when you know that I'm in need, when you know we ain't performing, you know we ain't doing nothing as a group right now? I need my money. I'm pregnant. My daughter is in college. You don't think I need the money? You didn't think, child? But I'm just curious to hear what y'all got to say about that. We're going to continue on and move on to the next part to speak on it. Will we discuss the biggest thing? Will we discuss what Latasha's real reason is for her dislike for Kandi? Her real reason for blaming Kandi for everything? And Kandi exposing the lies that's being told. Let's get into this part of the speak on it. Let's check it out.
I have to address this on Speak on It because this has been said for years and it annoys me. And I didn't like that. So I just tried to allude to like I had something to do with her damn solo project not coming out. Did you see that? That annoys me. I feel like Tasha blames me for everything that has gone wrong in her life. And I do not understand why. I do understand that she and I have always butted heads, and I do understand we don't see eye to eye. But how she be blaming me for stuff that I ain't even around for? That's the part that gets me. It's crazy to me that she had all this going on with her sister right off rip when the show starts, but yet she still was trying to bring me up as the problem child or the drama. One of the things that they did cut out that I was like, okay, I guess, you know, it would have made the scene even better and longer, but you know, sometimes they feel like they don't want to play scenes too long. But okay, that when we were over at Tiny's house and we were having that sit down, she definitely did the thing where she was like,
I don't want to talk about that, until my sister.
you know, apologizes to, you know, my mama. She did it did end on that. But the part that they left off was at the top of the conversation, you know, you see us say, hey,
let's talk about management. Okay.
We want to start talking about new management, blah, blah, blah.
I personally feel like we should get new management. I feel like we should get somebody that everybody can agree on and that everybody can feel comfortable with.
All of a sudden, some kind of way, she brought it back to me and was trying to say, well,
We got so many things we need to work out and issues.
and I'm like, well, what issues we got? Me and you ain't even really been talking like, and if
I've tried to be a friend to you.
I'm like, when was you trying to be a friend to me, ma'am? And she was like,
I tried to call you.
when did you call? They didn't play all this. Okay. I'm just letting you know that this happened. And I was like, when have you tried to call me? And what does this got to do with anything? Because she was trying to make it seem like me and her was the reason she wasn't ready to commit to doing this show, or she wasn't ready to commit to making decisions about the group and all this stuff.
Fix it.
She always finds a way to make me the problem, right? So I was like, what are you talking about? I was like, first of all, that don't even make sense because me and you have argued forever and we still somehow managed to do shows together and performances. So how are you all of a sudden trying to make it seem like the fact you and I don't have a relationship is what's stopping you from wanting to do the group thing right now? It was definitely a deflection, but at the time, we didn't know that she already had her solo deal in place. We knew something was going on because this same attitude and same behavior is the same thing that she did to us back when we was teenagers and she decided she wanted to go solo. For whatever reason, she always has to make everything a problem, or we all this problem, and that's the reason why she needs to go and do her own thing. Instead of just saying, hey, you know what, guys, I have another music opportunity I want to explore, so I'm not sure if I can commit to a full tour, but this is what I can do. It always has to be like all of a sudden, everything we do just irks the shit out of her.
Tasha, how do you feel about what we're saying? I'm hearing everybody out.
But how do you feel about it, period?
But it really be because she has another opportunity where she feels like she don't really need us anymore. When things are not going the way she wants them to go, I guess personally with her personal music stuff, then all of a sudden she got all the time in the world for escape. But if she thinks she got a solo deal lined up or she got something else lined up, then all of a sudden,
Yeah, I don't know if I want to sing with y'all. I don't know if I want to do that with y'all. I don't know.
and it's just like, it's getting to be where it's predictable.
So
It's predictable.
Do you feel that with just looking at it, do you feel that that she probably actually has a problem with Tiny as well?
I mean, I think at this point during this season, she ended up having an issue with all of us. I told you, after the whole thing, especially with the dress debacle, she cut all of us off. She changed her number on everybody.
I don't care about no money. I don't care about no tour.
I don't have Tasha's phone number. I cannot text her. She changed her number on our group members, and none of us had her number. But recently, when we were in LA promoting the show, that was the week that the premiere episode was coming out, just to give you reference. 2 days before the show came out, that Friday, she texts Tiny from her new number. So that's how Tiny got the number. But the rest of us ain't got the number. None of us had the number. Yes, Tasha had a listening party while we were in LA promoting the premiere episode of the new TV show, or the current TV show. And Tasha was out there promoting her album. So she had hints in an invitation to her listening party. And she invited Tiny, and then she said, oh yeah, and invite the girls. I'm used to this, but Tamika, this is new for her, so she's like really emotional about what's happening right now. And none of us had her number for months, so Tiny is, I guess, easier to forgive because Tiny will pacify people's bullshit. I tell her this all the time. I'm like, come on now, they full of shit, and you want to sit up here, oh, but David, for what? Why are you doing that? Whereas I'm a little bit more combative, So I guess it's easier to forgive and forget, with Tiny or whatever.
Y'all gotta get it together.
Back to the conversation that they clipped. So in that conversation, she was just making it seem like I'm the problem. She was trying to call me. What she had She said, I said, well, when did you try to call me?
Well, when we first got back together as a group,
I said, girl, that was like 5-6 years ago. You talking about that long time ago? You still waiting on a call from me since then? I've been around you every other couple months doing shows. How you just now saying that you had a problem with me not calling you back 6 years ago? And I'm seeing you on a regular basis. I was like, girl, I can't. And then it moved on. And then, you know, the whole situation with her saying she didn't want to talk about them because until Tamika agreed. So it was just like she was finding reasons to have a problem. That's how I felt. She got up and walked.
Now, I definitely agree that Tasha was looking for a problem. She was just looking for an issue because she really don't want to work with them. That's really what the tea is. Continue.
Tamika, because that's the thing. She's okay with having back and forth confrontations with me, but she didn't want to do that with her sister. So on camera anyway. So when her sister was like, no, let's discuss whatever we need to discuss. Then she was like,
no, not until you apologize to me and my mother.
Your mom not doing this. Our mother.
and Tamika was like, that's my mama too, you know. But she was just like, all of a sudden, she just had to walk away like she was in tears. So I was like,
Oh, she was crying.
well, apparently she was. You know, me and Tamika sat there on the couch when she went out there and cried. We didn't even go after
She
her.
cried in the car. Okay.
Yeah, we didn't see the tears. The tears went out the door. Let me move right along. This is the part that I really get sick of. After all this back and forth with her sister, accusations being thrown around, like that was big drama. She still found the time to go with Rocky and dog me for a whole segment.
But when it comes to you and Kandi, you know, I mean, honestly speaking, you guys have just never been on the same page.
An entire segment she set up and had issues with me. And I was just like,
she was a young one trying to, you know, make her way. And there were times when I would sing a song and she would just have a fit.
It never fails. What I took from watching that was I feel like she was hoping to get all the stuff with her sister cut out the show and just make this whole issue she has on the show the Kandi problem.
Hell no.
Which was.
And to be honest, I agree with Kandi because it was pretty weird that the conversation wound up being about Kandi when all this time the issue has been between Latasha and Tamika. So why all of a sudden it's the issue with Kandi? It doesn't make any sense. It absolutely don't make no sense. And she was looking for a reason. Continue.
Which was what I thought when I came into this, when we came into filming, I already in my mind, I was like, oh hell, it's gonna be the Kandi at war with Tasha show. That's what I was thinking the show was going to be.
I just want peace.
I did not know that all this stuff was gonna come about between Tamika and Tasha. But what happened in they scene of them talking shit about me, that's what I was expecting to see this whole season anyway. So I'm glad that I'm not the only thing that has come out it as a problem in the show. But here's the thing. I gotta say this because this has come out multiple times. So let's make this clear. So let's start with this. This has been said multiple times by her and other people that I was so jealous and I made it so hard for her. That's the reason why she had to go solo. And said that I was so jealous of her singing lead. So can we please? I really wanted to make a big picture chart, a picture of our playlist, our song list on the first 2 albums, so we can run down this. But I'm gonna say it to you. Maybe you can post it up. Okay. Humming Coming At You was our first album. Humming Coming At You was the intro. Just Kicking It, as you know, was our first single. I'm singing lead on. Pumping, it's Long Song 3. I'm singing lead on. Let Me Know, I sing lead on that song. I mean, she's on there too, but I'm just saying I'm singing lead on there. Understanding, we all sing a lead on. With You, am I singing lead on that? Let me see. Let me check. On this one too. Yeah, I think multiple of us have a part on there, but I do have a lead verse on there. Is My Living in Vain, that was all of us. Love on My Mind. Oh, that's the one song that I don't have a lead verse on that album. So that's Tamika and Tasha. Tonight, all of us have a lead. So that's our first album.
So did you guys always have beef?
No, she and I have always bumped heads, to be clear. Yeah, like there was always issue. I will get into that more if we ever do a movie. I can give y'all some real tea. But I'm keeping it to the music at this point because this is something that they keep saying. So that was the first album. I have a lead verse on every song in that first album except for Love on My Mind, to be clear.
And she is absolutely right. I got all of their albums, and she's absolutely right.
That was singing. Feel So Good. I'm singing lead on there. Hard to Say Goodbye. We all have a lead part. Can't Hang. I'm singing lead on. Who Can I Run To? That's Tamika and Tasha. That's one song. Do You Want To? That's Tiny and Tasha. That's two songs. Do Like Love Is What Can I Do? I'm sorry. That's the next song after Do You Want To? I'm singing lead on. Do Like Lovers Do. I'm singing lead on. Work Me Slow. I'm singing lead on. Love's a Funny Thing. I think we all singing lead on. I definitely am singing lead on that. And Keep It On the Real. I'm singing lead on. Please tell me that's two albums, two platinum albums. The second album, there's only two songs that I don't have a lead verse. So what are you talking about, ma'am? That that I'm the reason that made you want to go solo. So to be clear, while we were touring on our second album, and we found out that she was shopping her deal. I believe at the time, Yab Yum, which is Tracy Edmonds' record label, was willing to offer her a deal. But when it came to the label, So Devil, because remember, we told y'all we was trying to negotiate to get a big money for our third album. Her negotiating for her solo project messed up us being able to get that money because they was like, oh, we don't even know if y'all gonna stay together. And they use that as an excuse to lowball us on our money for the third album. What the decision came to be, because when it all was going down or whatever, this is some bullshit, you know what I mean? So basically,
I had to stop right there just for a second. I mentioned a lot of this on my review because she said a lot of this in her interview with Sister to Sister in 2001 when Hey Kandi was out. I know my stuff.
the lawyer basically put out there to the label that in order for her to agree to do the third album, they had to give her permission to do her solo project. So anyway, I've said this a million times, and the other group members have said it. She the only one that keep trying to pretend like she didn't try to get a solo deal at the time. So anyway, it's so annoying. So going into the third album, we knew that she was going to be doing a solo project through So Def. We already knew it going into the album, okay? So that is when I had an issue, because if you look at the third album, that was the album in which it was I don't want to say a whole bunch, but multiple songs with only her singing. And that is why I was saying they were using our third album to set up her solo project, because we were on So Def. She was going to be doing a solo album on So Def. And that's why I was saying that. We used to go, okay, on our first two albums, when I say I sang lead on, I had a lead verse, I mean, I sang lead, she sang the ad libs. So there was always at least two people doing some lead on every song. All of a sudden, on our third album, it was like, let's be clear. We used to go in the studio and we always going in together and singing, doing the backgrounds and stuff together. On the third album, it was a couple of times. This when I got pissed off, and they always be talking about Kandi was tripping. They had already went in the studio with her and recorded her parts. The other two aren't even on the song, and they just wanted me to come in and add my voice on the backgrounds so that it can sound like an Escape song, because they used to turn my backgrounds up louder for whatever that's, y'all can say what y'all want to say about, Kandi can't say whatever, but my voice is distinctive. So they felt like it made it a distinctive sound, an Escape sound. So mind you, I was pissed for all of us, because I was like, how the fuck Y'all not even gonna. So Tamika and Tiny don't even get called in the studio now. You just gonna call me to come jump and get on the background and she just saying. I was like, no, y'all are using us to set up her solo project. So that is why I was saying that, and I want you to know and be clear on how that came about, or no, my point of view, since they keep throwing out their points of view. Okay. After we dropped that third album, she only promoted for 1 month after the album release because that was what was required of her. And then she went off and started doing her solo project. Me, Tamika, and Tiny were doing shows together as just 3 people back then, trying to, still make money. She was fine. She knew she was going to get her money for her solo project. So she wasn't really trying to do it with us. So that's why I'd be like, I hate this narrative that they keep trying to give y'all.
When it comes to Kandi and I, we had issues with me singing.
Because it's just not true.
Do you think that she only got a solo deal because she went out and shopped one? Because statistically, let it be NSYNC, Justin Timberlake, Destiny's Child, Beyonce, whoever is always the lead would be the one that would be offered a solo career.
Well, I don't even want to say it's just that. I mean, it was a buzz, with, whatever. Yeah, I mean, she was shopping the deal. That is correct. She was shopping the deal, but I don't want to say that's the only reason why she got a solo deal. But yeah, I mean, closed mouths don't get fed, right? So she did put it out there. That's what she wanted, and that's what she got. No hate on Tasha for that, because even though I was upset at the time that everything was falling apart with us as a group, and I did blame her for our money getting fucked up for that third album. I'm not gonna lie. At that time, I did. But because of her doing what she did, it forced me to get in my bag and was like, oh, I need to be writing songs. I need to be doing this.
Scrub is a guy that thinks he's flying this, also known as a buster.
Hence, me and Tiny trying to come up with another project for us to just do Cat, meaning Kandi and Tiny, and we had wrote No Scrubs, and that's how we end up getting that song placed on TLC.
No, I don't want no scrub. A scrub is a guy that can't get no love from me.
So everything happens for a reason. I'm not upset about how it went down.
She said it was parallel.
That's some full of shit right there.
I know back in the day, in 1998, I said I wanted to do a solo project. And then within that same time frame, Kandi got signed and her album came out.
To be clear on what happened after that, she was already signed to So Def. Me and Tiny was trying to get our deal, just the 2 of us. We already had a song picked up on TLC. And to give you a better idea of the timeline, me and Tiny started working on our Cat project during the recording of the third album. That's how I know she even more full of shit. Because the only reason why me and Tiny started doing the Cat project is because Tasha was going solo. Let's be clear. So
And this is pretty much the same story that Kandi has told. Her story has never changed and never wavered. Tasha, on the other hand, has been inconsistent with all of her stories. Continue.
had started recording. So that song that's on the third album, Hold On to Love or whatever, with me and Tiny singing, that was a song that we had recorded for the Cat project. So that's why I'm like, they can say what they want, but they timelines ain't timeline. And I got facts and receipts, honey. So me and Tiny, we started working on trying to get a deal. I remember one time it was so funny because I had told Tiny we need to write our own songs for our demo tape so that when we take it to the label, they know we could, executive produce our own project. And I remember Tasha and Rocky, they were talking to us, just seeing what we were doing. And we was like excited about our songs. We was like, yeah, we decided we're going to write our own songs and try to, shop it to the label so that, we can be executive producers. And they looked at each other and laughed and was like, who going to let y'all executive produce something? They said that to us. I was like, well, damn. But that was the type of shit they used to do to us all the time. Clearly, since then, we've executive produced a lot of stuff, but we're not going there. Anyway, so, but this is all happening during the course of recording the album before the album, Escape's album actually released. After that song got placed, we tried to, see Jermaine would, do our project as well. We were told Jermaine passed on the project with just me and Tiny. And then when it got to Columbia, because Columbia, So Def is under Columbia. So you have to get a release from So Def and a release from Columbia before you could shop it elsewhere. Sony or whatever. And that's the issue that me and Tiny had, because they were like, they did not see the vision for us doing a duet. Like, they didn't know, like, how's that gonna work, blah blah blah. I mean, they were like, but we will give you your solo deal. Where I felt bad, because I felt like I let Tiny down, but at the time, shit, I was going broke. I was like, after this group fell apart, after this group had to go on hiatus, an indefinite hiatus for Tasha doing her solo project, I was like, I didn't have the money to sit around. So I was like, I just can't do that. And so, she and I had a conversation, and, she understood. Obviously, she wasn't necessarily happy about it, but she understood. And so that's when I went ahead and start talking to Columbia about doing my solo project. I want to be clear, and I need to clear this up too. As we were in talks, because yes, Michael Malden used to work at Columbia as like the head of Columbia or whatever. So they always try to throw that out there, like maybe I had a relationship with Michael. Michael Malden got, I hate to say this, but he got fired in the.
I'm loving this part. She's confirming that Michael Malden was fired at the time that she got her solo deal. And people love to try to say that she slept with Michael Malden, even though we know Miss Tamika was the one to put the lies out there. But she did not sleep with that man. He wasn't even around when the solo deal came around. Let's continue.
In the midst of, me talking to the label about doing my solo deal. So after he left, then the next guy who came and took his position, he finished my deal. So Michael Malden was no longer there, my loves. So she can't be trying to, like, I know they tried to put that rumor out there, like, I guess they were trying to say, like, oh, she did this to try to shut Tasha. No, he wasn't there. Me and Jermaine wasn't even communicating anymore after like the third album. Like the whole group had fell apart. So when she was doing her solo project, I don't know why she was trying to put out there like, well, I don't know how, but all of a sudden my record didn't come out, but hers did. It's like, first of all, I was writing hits for a lot of people, and that's what solidified my position, because I had already did the stuff with Destiny's Child. That's what solidified my deal at Columbia, to be clear. My writing and everything I had going on. Now, as far as with Tasha, I don't know what was going on or going wrong with her situation with So Def, but what I will say is that she was signed to Jermaine Dupri.
For some reason, my project got shelved.
And if she has questions of why her album never came out, ask him.
Cool, because we got many more things for you to do by yourself.
Stop putting it on me. Her album never came out.
Oh no, we doing all this and the album ain't even.
That was what she was saying. She was saying her. Okay, so if y'all can go back in time and check my receipts. Her song and we both had songs on the Big Mama's House soundtrack. I was told at the time that she was supposed to come out first, and then later they were gonna put my song out. I'm talking to y'all and Jamie over here. And later my song was supposed to come out, or not the song from the soundtrack. They was trying to drop that song from the soundtrack, but my album period was supposed to come out after her. That's all I knew. I didn't know nothing else. She was on So Def. I was on Columbia Records. I had no more ties to So Def. My ties to the label at that point was the publishing company, because I was writing, so they were still getting a percentage of me as a writer, but I wasn't like working with the label. And I know all that stuff they try to put out there about me and Jermaine or whatever. No, sweetheart, that ain't had nothing to do with it, because she had got her solo deal when that happened. So obviously I ain't had no control of that. So don't be trying to put that on me. Speaking of, can y'all please go buy her album? Please go buy Tasha's album on Good Friday when it come out. Because I feel like she has blamed me for the first one not coming out for whatever reason. I don't know why. Instead of having a conversation with me so that we could have really talked about this, she is definitely subtly dropped little comments to make people believe like I had something to do with her record not coming out. And that is just not true. It's not true, people. Not true. It's a mess. So here we are all these years later. History is repeating itself. She waited until we got the television deal to start shopping her deal and to have this new album to come out, gospel. I hate to say this. It feels like she used us as leverage to lock her situation in. Nah.
That's exactly what she did. It's the same thing she did with traces on my lipstick. Same thing.
I may be wrong, but the same way she be putting out bullshit on me. That's how I feel. How about that? I mean, I don't understand why all of a sudden, now it's like, oh, well, I don't know if I want to do this tour with y'all. I don't know if my energy ain't good around y'all. All the stuff she's gonna be saying about us and to us through the whole season.
All week, you've been on a flight how many days this week?
All week, I've been on a flight every single day this past week, except for Friday. So 6 days out of the 7 days, I was on a plane.
You put a lot of energy in everything that you want to do. How come she isn't able to balance focusing on Escape and focusing on her solo career?
That is the question. That's like the prize question. Even if she wanted to do a solo project right now, because all of us be doing other stuff, why you can't do that and do Escape? I believe Tiny even said that to her, like, why you can't do your solo project and do this? I don't know. I have no clue to how she thinks. Me and her do not see eye to eye. So, with that being said, I wish her the best in all her endeavors. I wish her the best in her music and her cookbook and everything that she's doing. I hope that you guys please support her, because really I feel like she feels that she needs to have her own win outside of the group. And everybody wants to have a win. So with that being said, I don't want us to be hurting her stuff in any kind of way. Please get her project. Please drop the link in there. I am just over it. I'm over getting blamed for whatever it is that went on wrong in her career. It's like we didn't even talk to each other really after she split. For a long time, we didn't really have real community. We talked here and there, blue moon, but it'd be like years to go by and we didn't even talk. So I'm like, she and I never really had that relationship. It's just weird to me that even when I wasn't there, she still blamed me for whatever was going wrong. And I always thought that was just the oddest thing. It's so weird. I just kind of feel like at this point, she and I don't really have to talk because we have learned the art of being around each other, being able to work, get the job done, and whatever. I think who she needs to talk to, Tasha, the sisters need to talk. That's who need to talk. I don't really need to talk because I know how to. My whole life it's been drama with my group, so it's like I know how to have a, say what I got to say and then still get on that stage. They have something that's a little bit more deep happening right now. Doing this show didn't help. Doing this TV show did not help the relationship of our group. Obviously, it made it worse. It's tough to fix things because, now they have to see what each other has said when the other wasn't around. I know now Tamika feels like, she wants to get even more of her feelings out. So, she did the YouTube, which I'm sure her family ain't happy about. Here's the other thing.
That's where
they call her the enemy. And the other thing that I felt was weird is like
I'm gonna stop it there. So everything that Kandi just said in the speak on it in regards to Latasha and her comments about the solo albums, I said all of that in my live for the review. As I said, I've been following Escape for many, many years. As I've always said, Escape is one of my favorite groups of all time outside of SWV and TLC. So I know all about the group's history. So when people be telling me they only respond to facts, they not gonna respond to me because it's a bias. It's never a bias. I've been studying that group for a long time. I've been following that group and all this drama, reading up on them, all of that stuff. So everything that I said on my live, Kandi just regurgitated what I just said on her speak on it. And it was just it did come across like Latasha was upset, and it did come across like she was trying to blame Kandi for her own situations in regards to her solo album not coming out. Like Kandi said, the people you need to talk to is Jermaine Dupri. But then again, on Escape Still Kicking It, when that show came out, she was sitting up there talking to Tamika. She said that she was mad at Michael Malden for all them years, and she blamed him for her solo album not coming out. So who is it? Who is to blame for it? You're trying to make it seem like um Candy got the PUSSY of gold with Jermaine, and he was and she was the reason why your album didn't come out. But then, you know, just a couple of years ago, you blamed his daddy for the album not coming out. And according to Candy, she was riding it like a motorbike when you got your solo deal. So it's like she mustn't have that much power with the PUSSY. So it's like, Tasha, which one is it? And on top of that, Candy got, like I said on my review, oh my God, it's like I'm repeating myself because I already said it. Like I said on my review, she got the record deal with Columbia due to the stuff that she had already done. She did the No Scrub song. She did the Bills, Bills, Bills for Destiny's Child, as well as the Bugaboo. And not only did she do Bugaboo and Bills, 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 but she also had other songs on the Writings on the Wall album. Candy wrote So Good for Destiny's Child. She wrote Hey Ladies for Destiny's Child, as well as She Can't Love You. She wrote those songs as well. So she already had her stuff going on with the publishing. So it only made sense for Columbia to give Candy her solo album. She wasn't in communication with Jermaine Dupri during the time she got a solo album. She didn't have anything to do with So Def at the time she got a solo album. You were the one who had something to do with So Def at the time. So what are you talking about? And on top of that, I listened to Traces on My Lipstick in full today, and it did sound like they were setting her up for her solo album. Everything that Candy said in regards to her leads on the first two albums of Escape was definitely true. When you listen to Traces on My Lipstick, Latasha led All About Me, which is the first song. The second song was My Little Secret. It was led by Candy, Tiny, and Latasha. Third song was Softest Place on Earth, led by only Latasha. What was after that? Do You Know? I think that's the name of it. Do You Know? That was led by, was it Do You Know? I think it was Do You Know. Do You Know? Okay. Do You Know was led by Latasha and Latasha only. Then you got One of Those Love Songs, which was led by Candy, Latasha, and Tamika. You got The Arms of the One Who Loves You, which was led by Latasha and Tamika. Your Eyes was also led by no, I skipped. I Will was led by Candy and Latasha. Your Eyes was only led by Latasha and Latasha only. All I Need was led by Tiny and Tamika. Am I Dreaming was led by everybody. The Runaround was led by Latasha and Candy, and Hold On was led by Tiny and Candy only. So Latasha definitely led a lot of songs by herself, and I do believe Candy when she say that when they would go in the studio, there was a time where her and Tiny, no, Tiny and Tamika wasn't even invited to the studio, called into the studio. They only invited Candy to do the backgrounds and or whatever. So I believe all of that stuff. But what I want to know is, what do y'all believe? Do you guys believe the situation with Tiny, well, with the situation with Tamika, what Candy explained, and do you guys believe the story that Candy told in regards to her issues with Latasha? Let's talk about it below. and all of that stuff, okay? So with that being said, you guys, this be your boy Scattered by Nature TV. Be sure to like, rate, comment, subscribe, share this video, and also click on the notification bell so you can be notified whenever a video drops. If you want to follow me on any form of social media, my Twitter, my Instagram, and my TikTok will be down below. With that being said, you guys, your boys up out of here. For those of you that are watching, make sure you leave blue hearts in the chat in memory of Danita Rashawn. Rest in peace, boo. Love you. And I'm out of here, y'all. Until the next video, I will talk to you guys a little bit later. Bye-bye.
What's up, guys? It's your boy Tremel. I just wanted to say that I have a new project that's out. It's called Mixed Feelings. It's on all streaming platforms. I would hope that you would go and check it out. It's a really good feel of an album. It's got everything you need and more. It's got R&B, it's got a little bit of pop, it's got a little bit of hip hop. It's everything that you need and more. It's out all streaming platforms, like I said. Please check me out, and you can also follow me at IAM_Tremel. That's IAM_TRAMEL. Check me out. I hope to hear from you.